everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm doing my May wrap-up. So I had a really weird reading month in May. It didn't feel like I read a lot, but I actually read 13 books, which is really good considering how I've been doing lately, but I was just feeling kind of slumpy. I wasn't really in the mood to read anything. I think I've kind of beat that slump now. I read a book in 2 days for the first time in a really long time, so I think I'm kind of starting to get out of it. But yeah, I just wasn't really in the mood to read anything. But I guess I did read quite a bit, so I'm really happy with that. I read quite a few big books, so I don't know. I'm happy with how I did in May, considering how slumpy I was feeling. There were a lot of readathons, and I didn't do too well for them. That's why I didn't really do a wrap-up or anything for them. I'm doing the #TBR Takedown readathon right now, and I'm not able to participate in the full week, so I'm not sure if I will do a wrap-up video for that, but if I do decide to do that, I will let you guys know on my Twitter. And yeah, let's just get into the books that I read in May. So the first book I read this month was Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. I had been looking for something that was going to be really quick and kind of get me out of my slumpy feeling, and this was suggested to me, so I decided to pick it up, and it was actually a very, very good read for that. The font size in this is pretty big, and also the spacing in between like all the lines is really big, so it feels like you're reading a lot when you're actually not reading that much. So it's definitely very quick to get through, and you go through like a lot of pages in one sitting. I think I read this in like 2 sittings or something like that, which I was really happy about, and I did actually really enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to continue with the series because I don't really care that much about the characters or what else happens, but I did really enjoy it. It was quick and it was kind of fun. It was really interesting and twisted, I guess I should say. It's kind of like a Pretty Little Liars type vibe, so it was pretty interesting, but I just don't think I'm that interested in where the storyline is going to go, and I know the second book is really big, and I just don't think I want to put that commitment into it when there are so many other books that I would rather be reading. But like I said, I did enjoy this, and I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read The Book of Negroes by Lawrence Hill. I listened to the audiobook of this actually because I was going to an event where Lawrence Hill was going to be at, so I decided I should probably read his book before I met him, and I actually really loved the book. I thought it was so fantastic and so well written. It was so interesting to follow the same character for such a long time. What happens is the main character is taken away from her home in Africa to be a slave in America, so you're following her from when she is 12 years old and taken away through her journey, through different like slave owners, and through her journey trying to find freedom and return to Africa. So at the end of the book, she is nearing the end of her life, and you have literally followed her whole entire life, and you know her whole story, and I just really loved that. You got to connect with the same character throughout the whole story. I thought it was really interesting, and it was just a very phenomenal and touching read, and I would really recommend it to anyone who is interested in historical fiction or interested in anything with the slave trade. Then after that, I picked up The Heir by Kiera Cass, the 4th book in the selection series, which just came out last month. So I read it the day it came out in 1 sitting, and I was kind of disappointed. I only ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I will link my review down below because I did review it. It's spoiler free as long as you have read the first 3 books in the series. I just had a lot of problems with it, and it wasn't what I was expecting, and I thought the ending was very rushed and kind of just thrown in there because she just was like, okay, I want to change the storyline and end it like this. Like, it was just, it didn't really make sense, and it kind of really bothered me. Edelyn is almost as annoying as America. She's really bratty. She's not quite as annoying as America though. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say too much about this book because I feel like its entire existence is a spoiler, like its whole title and everything about the series. All of them are spoilers, so I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah, it was a little bit of a disappointment, and I'm hoping for more from the next book. Then after that, I picked up Across the Universe by Beth Revis. I just wanted a sci-fi since I've been trying to get more into sci-fi this year. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. I did really like it. I liked the science fiction and mystery aspect to it. I thought it was a very interesting concept, and it was really not too sciencey for me to understand for the most part. Some things were a little bit too sci-fi for me to enjoy, just like personally it's not really my taste, but I did overall think it was a really good read. I'm not particularly fond of the characters though. I don't really care for Amy or Elder. I really just kind of am meh about the characters, and I think that's why I didn't really enjoy it as much as I could have, but it was an overall enjoyable read, and it was fast-paced and it was really interesting, so yeah, it was 4 stars for me. After that, I picked up The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. I ended up giving this book, I think it was 3 stars, 3.5 stars. I really loved it in the beginning, but then I just got increasingly frustrated with the main character. I just thought she was making stupid and senseless decisions. I did understand her sister had just died, so she's not in the best place, but I just thought she was just not really thinking with her head, and it just didn't really make sense to me. I had a lot of trouble connecting with her, and I think that's a big reason why it kind of fell flat for me. I just, at the end, I was just entirely frustrated because she was making so many stupid decisions, and they just didn't really make sense even though she's grieving. It just was so stupid. I just couldn't handle it, and it made me really not enjoy the book as much as I had wanted to, and I was in the beginning. I thought the writing was really fantastic. You can tell that I've read I'll Give You the Sun, which is Jandy Nelson's other book, and you can tell in that one she's kind of matured her writing. She does have a very distinct style. It's very metaphorical and just very lyrical, I want to say. And in this one, it was a little bit too metaphorical at times, but I did like the quirkiness of the story. It was just, I liked the family and everything. It was just the main character and her stupid decisions just were too frustrating for me, and by the end, I just could not justify giving it anything higher than like a 3.5 stars because I was so frustrated and I hated the last half of the book so much. After that, I picked up Gonia by Maria Devana Headley. I have a review for this filmed. I just haven't uploaded it yet, but I will upload it as soon as I can and as soon as I decide to edit it. I gave this book a 4.5 stars, I think maybe a 4 stars. I did really enjoy it. I thought it was super interesting. I loved the concept of it, and it was so out there and unique. It was kind of like a hybrid of The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender and The Fault in Our Stars. I really just thought it was really fantastic, well written, and just so out there that I couldn't possibly hate it because, I mean, it's really hard a lot of the times to find unique books, but this one is very unique and honestly like nothing I've ever read before, and I would really recommend it for that reason because it's just so like mind-blowing and really heart-wrenching. It was just a really beautiful story, and it is just such a beautiful book overall. Like, this book is honestly so pretty. Like, look at all the things it has. It has so many things. Oh, I love it. Yeah, it was really, really good, and yeah, 4.5, I think, stars. And this was also one of my most anticipated releases of 2015, but luckily this one wasn't so disappointing. It was actually surprisingly very, very good. I mean, I shouldn't say surprisingly because it is blurbed by Neil Gaiman, so it's obviously going to be fantastic if that tells you anything about it. Yeah, you should just pick it up because it was really awesome. Then after that, I decided to pick up A Million Suns by Beth Revis, which is the second book of the Across the Universe trilogy. I'm reading the third one right now. This one I thought was like, it was really good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars like I did for the first one. I just felt like it was kind of more the same, and it was kind of the same as the first one, but a different people and a little bit of a different plot. I don't know if that's just me. Like I said, I don't really care for the characters, but I did enjoy the plot enough to give it 4 stars, and I just think the romance in this book is just kind of blech. I'm not really a fan of it that much, but overall, I did like the sci-fi story, and I could understand what was going on, which was definitely a plus. Then I read The Archive by Victoria Schwab. This book, I really wanted to love it because I had been thinking I was going to love it since I had heard about it, and then I had this idea in my head of what it was going to be about. I thought that the main character was going to be like a librarian because the whole concept of it is that the dead rest on shelves like books. So I thought it was going to be like a library of dead people or like their souls, and I thought that she was going to be a librarian, but she wasn't. It was more of a kind of ghost hunter story. I don't want to like discredit it to that, but she more so is trying to capture any souls that may have escaped. So I just was kind of, it threw me off that it wasn't like I was expecting, and I think that's why I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. So I did end up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars, but I did really love the writing. I thought the writing was just fantastic, so I will be giving more Victoria Schwab a try. I was just kind of sad that this was the first book that I've read by her and I didn't like it as much as I had been hoping to, but that is mostly entirely my fault since I had this idea in my head and it just wasn't that, and that's why I didn't like it so much. Next, I read More Than This by Patrick Ness. This is another case of the I had an idea in my head and it just wasn't that at all, and that's kind of why I didn't really love this book. I was expecting it to be contemporary. It's not a contemporary. I'm not going to say what genre it is because that's kind of a spoiler, but it's not contemporary, and all I knew about it was that the main character drowns and then he wakes up, he doesn't know where he is. So I was expecting it to be like this, he's in heaven, like find your soul, something like that story, but it really just wasn't that, and once again, it just threw me off. I need to like not have preconceived notions or any like hype surrounding a book lately, or else I just don't like it as much as I could have because the hype kind of kills it for me. That has been happening to me so often lately, and also like the fact that I think I know what a book is about before I read it. It's just been ruining like so many books for me lately, which is really, really sad because I wanted to love this because it's Patrick Ness, but I just didn't. I ended up giving this one a 3.5 stars because I didn't absolutely hate it. I just didn't really love it. I liked it. I didn't love it. Okay, so now for my top 3 books of the month. It was so hard to pick a top 3 this month because there were quite a few books that I did really, really love for different reasons, but I had to go with the ones that I gave like a solid 5 out of 5 stars for all of them. So coming in at number 3 is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I've been debating reading this book, and then Max from Well Done Books, he pushed me to start it, and I started it and I read it very quickly, well fairly quickly, and I did really, really love it. I was expecting not to like it so much just because of all the hype, and it just didn't really seem like a book that I would particularly enjoy, but I really loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The writing was so good. The characters were all so enjoyable. I didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the second book at all, and I'm really excited to pick that one up. I was expecting it to be a little bit slow in the beginning since I had been warned about that by a few people, but honestly I didn't really find it that slow at all. I thought it went at a good pace, and I thought it was a really, really great story, really different than anything I've ever read, and I just loved honestly everything about it, and I cannot wait to pick up the second one. And then coming in at number 2, it was really hard to pick between 1 and 2, so they're kind of tied. Honestly, all 3 of them are kind of tied because I love them all equally. But for number 2, I chose An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. I really, really love this book. I have a review that will be going up soon. I do have it filmed, I just haven't edited it yet or anything, so I need to get on that and upload it. I will link it down below when I do, but yeah, it was such a fantastic book. It had been getting so much hype, and I just kind of like set the hype aside and just read it, kind of expecting to love it, and luckily I did, because usually when I expect to love it, I don't, but I just really did. I loved the world, like the fact that the world is based on the Roman Empire, and it's just so like intricate and it's creepy, and I honestly had a nightmare about this book, that I was stuck in that world and that the commandant was trying to kill me and my sister, and it was really terrifying, and I woke up like so terrified. Oh, this book was just really fantastic. If you want to know more about why I loved it, you can watch my review because it is spoiler free. And then tied for my favorite books of the month, I had to put both of these in here, but then I couldn't get rid of any of the other two. And these are by the same author, so I figured why not. So it is Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas and Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This book has been out for quite a while, and it's the third book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I don't know if I'm going to do a review on it. I have done a review on all of the other books. I just don't know if I really have that much to say about it. It wasn't my favorite in the series. Crown of Midnight still holds that role because K.all. But I did really love it. I loved the fact that you got to see more of other characters rather than Selena, though I do love Selena. I liked the fact that there was a lot of world building in this one and just a lot of development in the story, and I'm super excited to see what is going to happen in the next book. It was just so good. And then in A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and it was just so magical and fantastic and just glorious. Like, I swear Sarah J. Maas can do no wrong. She cannot write like better people. I love every character that she writes, but I also hate the villains that she writes. Like, oh my god, she is just such an incredible author. Oh, I can't even. I love these books so much. So that is all for my wrap up for this month. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys were reading this month. And also thank you to everyone who participated in my little readathon that I did at the end of the month. So I did end up finishing both of the books that I had wanted to. So I finished Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas and The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I didn't really read much more than that. I think I ended up reading like 400 something pages. No, it was more than that. 600 something pages? I don't know. I ended up reading most of this and a good chunk of this, like I think half of this, during my little readathon on the hashtag I Need to Readathon. So it was really awesome. Thank you so much to you guys for participating in it, and you guys were honestly so motivating. I'm planning to do another readathon. I don't think I'm going to do it in June because there are a lot of readathons going on in June. I think I'm going to do it in the beginning or middle of July. It's just going to be, I don't know yet. I still need to plan it, but it's gonna be fun. So I will put, like, I'll do a separate video announcing that when I figure everything out. I'll probably be announcing it soon, so then you guys can like plan ahead and everything. So yeah, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!